Jai Hind children. Last class we had completed about that topic plant tissues and we studied about their structure and functions also, isn't it? Then today's topic is about animal tissues. So different types of animal tissues, their location and function we can study today. So before that, you know that when we breathe, our chest is moving in and out, isn't it? That is the movement of chest we can see. So how this occur? Because of the movement of muscles while we inhaling and exhaling. At that time the muscles are also relaxing and contracting. Because of that the chest is moving in and out, isn't it? So there is muscles are present. That means muscular tissues are present there. Because of that chest is moving in and out. Similarly, while we walking or running, our muscles are relaxing and contracting. Because of that we can move. So there are different types of tissues present in our body that are helping us in different ways. Let's start about different types of tissues that is present in our body. There are different types of animal tissues. Which are they? The first one is epithelial tissue. Epithelial tissues. Second one is connective tissues. Connective tissues. Third one is muscular tissues. Muscular tissues. And the fourth one is nervous tissue. Nervous tissues. So these are the different types of tissues present in animal body. Epithelial tissues, connective tissues, muscular tissues and nervous tissues. First one is epithelial tissues. Where these epithelial tissues are present and what is its function and which are the types of epithelial tissue. Now we can discuss about that. So epithelial tissues, these are the protective tissues of animal body. It is the protective tissues of the animal body. That means these are present outermost covering of the body. It is the outermost covering. Outermost covering of the body. So which are the protective tissues present in plant cells? You know that mainly epidermis, then cork. Similar to that, it is the outermost covering of animal body. Which one? Epithelial tissues. And these are the protective tissues of animal body. And these protective tissues or these epithelial tissues are form a barrier. Form a barrier to keep the systems separate. Keep the different systems separate. Which are the different systems present in our body? Systems separate. Which are the different systems? That is respiratory system, excretory system or digestive system. These systems are separated by these epithelial tissues. And these epithelial tissues are also found in where? Inside the cavities. Inside the cavities and also present in most of the outer surface of the organs. Outer surface of most of the organs. So once again, this is the outermost covering of animal body and it is the protective tissues in animal body and they form as a barrier to keep the systems separated. So which are the systems? Like respiratory system, digestive system, excretory system. These systems separate. In between that we can see about this epithelial tissue. Similar to that, these epithelial tissues are also found where? The outer surface of most of the organs like lungs, heart, like that most of the organs, outer surface of the organ is also made up of this epithelial tissue and it is also found where? Inside the cavities. The cavities, you know, that is a chest cavity, abdominal cavity, or a buccal cavity. So inside that is a cavity is made up of what? The outer surface of this cavity is also made up of epithelial tissues. Then where we can see these epithelial tissues, that is its location. Its location. Mainly we can see these epithelial tissues on the skin. The skin. And also the lining of mouth. Inside the mouth, the inner lining of the mouth, that is also epithelial tissue. Then present in lung alveoli. Then present in kidney tubules. Kidney tubules. So these epithelial tissues present where? Present on the skin. That means we can see where? The skin, in the lining of the mouth, the lung alveoli, and also present where? In the kidney tubules. That means in these areas we can see these epithelial tissues. Next is about important features of this epithelial tissue. Important features. They are, here the cells are tightly packed and form a continuous sheet. So the cells of these epithelial tissues are tightly packed and form as a continuous sheet. Then another feature, a small amount of cementing material. Small amount of cementing material is present. Cementing material is present in between the cells. Material is present in between the cells. In between the cells. And another feature is very little or no intercellular space. No intercellular space in between the cells. So once again, the cells are tightly packed and form as a continuous sheet, and there is small amount of cementing material present in between the cells. Suppose this one is a cell and here is another cell. In between these cells, there is a small amount of cementing material is present, and very little or no intercellular space is present in between the cells. Then another feature is there is a basement membrane is present. So what is that basement membrane? That is, the cells of these epithelial tissues are placed over a thin, then membranous, that is fibrous, extracellular membrane is called basement membrane. Basement membrane. So what is that basement membrane? That is, the cells of these epithelial tissues are placed over a thin extracellular fibrous membrane, and that membrane is called basement membrane. That is, suppose these are the cells and these cells are placed over a thin membranous fibrous membrane is present here. This membranous region is called basement membrane. Understand? So the cells are placed over a thin fibrous extracellular membrane, and that membrane is called what? Basement membrane. Now you understood about basement membrane. Then one more feature is there, that is permeable nature of this epithelial cells. You know what is permeability, isn't it? Then that permeability of the cells of epithelia, different epithelia, that plays an important role in regulating the exchange of materials. Regulating the exchange of materials. Between whom? The materials between the body and the environment. Body and the environment. Okay. And also the exchange of materials between different parts of the body. That is also another feature of this epithelial tissue. Different parts of the body. So it regulates regulate the exchange of materials between the body and the environment, and the different parts of the materials, exchange of materials between different parts of the body. So that these are occur because of why? Because of the permeability nature of the cells of the epithelial tissue. Understand? The next is about the type of epithelial tissues. There are different types of epithelial tissues according to their function. There are different types of epithelial tissue. The first one is squamous epithelial tissue. Squamous epithelial tissue. The first one, based on what? Based on their function, or according to their function, there are different types of epithelial tissue. The first one is squamous epithelial tissue. Look at the figure here. The squamous epithelial tissues, the cells are very thin. And form a delicate lining. The cells are very thin and form a delicate lining. And the cells are packed very close to each other. The cells are packed very close to each other. Like that is the tiles in a floor. Like that they are arranged. So the cells are very close to each other, and its location, where we can see this type of squamous epithelial cells. The cells are present in the lining of mouth. We can see that is inside the mouth, the lining of the mouth. There is also this squamous epithelium is present. Then esophagus. You know, esophagus is where that is the pipe that is between the throat and the stomach. There is a long tubular structure is present, that is called esophagus. That is also made up of what? This squamous epithelial tissue. Then lining of the lung alveoli. Lining of lung alveoli also we can see this squamous epithelium. Then lining of the mouth. Then lining of blood vessels also. Lining of blood vessels. In these areas we can see these squamous epithelial tissues. Once again, they are present where? The lining of the mouth, lining of lung alveoli, lining of blood vessels, and also we can see this squamous epithelium in the esophagus region. Then what is its function? Its function is function of squamous epithelium. The function is transport and exchange of materials. Transport and exchange of materials. Exchange of materials. You know that lining of the esophagus, this epithelial tissue is present. The food from the mouth is transported towards the stomach through this esophagus region. So that is to help in the transport, and also the exchange of materials. That is the exchange of gases takes place where in the, that is in the lungs, that is present in the lung alveoli. That lung alveoli is also made up of this squamous epithelial tissue. So its function is it helps in the transport and exchange of materials. That's about squamous epithelia. Then another one is stratified squamous epithelium. Stratified squamous epithelium. So strata means what? Different layers. Here the cells are placed one above the other. So we can see that different layers of cells are there. So it become very thick. So why it become thick? Because of different layers of cells are there. That is, one cell is placed above the other. So that this type of epithelium is known as stratified squamous epithelium. Look at the figure here, and where it is present, its location is mainly found in the skin. That is, skin is made up of stratified squamous epithelium. Then what is its function? Its function is to prevent wear and tear. To prevent wear and tear. That is, it is very thick in nature, so that mainly protective in function. So once again, the second type of epithelial tissue, that is stratified squamous epithelial tissue. Here the formed by different layers of cells are there, so that it is known as stratified squamous epithelia. Strata means different layers are there. So the cells are placed one above the other and form a layer of cells, and it is found where? In the skin. And what is its function? To prevent wear and tear. Okay. Then third one is columnar epithelium. Columnar epithelium. So this columnar epithelial cells consists of, that is, epithelial tissue form as tall pillar-like cells. Tall pillar-like cells that constitute the columnar epithelial tissue. So columnar epithelial tissue consists of columnar or pillar-like cells. Then where it is present, its location, it is present in the lining of the small intestine. Lining of small intestine. Lining of small intestine. And what is its function? Its function is absorption and secretion. Absorption and secretion in small intestine. Help in the absorption and secretion in small intestine. So you know that in small intestine there is absorption of what? The protein, carbohydrate, this fats, etc. is absorbed where? In small intestine into the blood. That is into the blood, and that is absorption, and also the secretion. Small intestinal wall also secreting some digesting juices. So the absorption and the secretion in small intestine, that process is also helped by whom? This columnar epithelial tissue. And this columnar epithelial tissue is, the cells are columnar or pillar-like cells. Look at the figure also. Then fourth one is ciliated columnar epithelial cells. Ciliated columnar epithelial cells. So columnar epithelial cells, I told that the cells are columnar or pillar-like. Here what is the difference? Here the cells are columnar or pillar-like, but these cells possess certain hair-like projections on its outer surface. Like this, columnar cells are there, but here the outer surface possesses certain hair-like projections. These are called what? Cilia. Look at the figure also here. So elongated columnar or pillar-like cells are there. Its outer surface possesses certain hair-like projections called cilia. Then where we can find this ciliated columnar epithelial cells? It is found in the respiratory tract. Respiratory tract. And What is its function? So you know that these cilia can move, isn't it? So that these cilia push the mucus of the respiratory tract towards forward. That is, they clear that respiratory tract so that there is what a easy, that make the easy way to transport of these gases. That is the function of what? These ciliated columnar epithelial cells. So here the cells are pillar-like or columnar. But what is the difference between columnar epithelial cells and ciliated columnar epithelial cells? Here the cells, its outer surface possess certain hair-like projections called cilia, and where it is found this type of epithelial tissue present where? That is in the respiratory tract. And what is its function? It pushes the mucus forward to clear the respiratory tract. Next is cuboidal epithelium. Cuboidal epithelial tissue. Here the cells are cube-shaped. Cube-shaped cells are here. Look at the figure here. Then present where? This location. This cuboidal epithelial tissue mainly found in lining of kidney tubules and also the ducts of salivary gland. Ducts of salivary gland. So salivary gland, that you know, salivary gland producing saliva in the mouth, isn't it? So the ducts of the tubular structure of the salivary gland, that is also made up of what? Cuboidal epithelial tissue, and the lining of kidney tubules, that is also made up of what? This is a cuboidal epithelial tissue. Then what is its function? Its function is provide mechanical strength. Provide mechanical strength. That is its function. Mechanical strength or mechanical support. Provide a mechanical support. So that's about a cuboidal epithelial cells. The cells are cube-shaped cells, and present where we can found this type of epithelial tissues in lining of kidney tubules and ducts of salivary gland, and the function is it provide mechanical support. Then another type of epithelial tissue, glandular epithelial tissue. So sometimes the epithelial tissues, a portion of the epithelial tissue that fold inwards and form as a gland, like this. Sometimes the epithelial tissues, that a portion of the epithelial tissue that fold inwards and form a multicellular gland. Such tissues are called what? Glandular epithelium. So these are the inner folding of this epithelium. This one is an epithelial tissue. A portion of the epithelial tissue fold inwards and form a gland. Such type of tissues are called the glandular epithelium. And look at the figure also here. Then where it is present, location. This glandular epithelial tissue present in all types of epithelia. All types of glands. Present in all types of glands. And what is its function? This glandular epithelium help the secretion of enzymes, then hormones, and also help in secretion of certain chemical substances, then mucus, etc. So that is the function of glandular epithelium. A portion of the epithelial tissue fold inwards and form a gland. So this gland secrete hormones enzymes, chemical substances or mucus, etc. This type of tissue is known as glandular epithelia. Next, the second one is connective tissue. Connective tissues. Here connective tissues, These tissues connect organs of the body. They connect organs of the body. Then here in connective tissues, the cells are loosely packed. Cells are loosely packed. And these cells are suspended where? These cells are suspended in a fluid matrix. These cells are suspended in a intercellular matrix. Intercellular matrix, and these matrix may be fluid, jelly-like, solid, then dense and rigid. That is once again connective tissues. Connective tissues present in our body, they connect the organs of the body. And here the cells are loosely packed, and these cells are suspended in an intercellular matrix or medium. And that medium may be solid or jelly-like or fluid or solid, dense and rigid. So different types of matrix are also there. Then examples of connective tissues. There are different examples are there. The most important one is blood. You know, blood is a connective tissue. Then bone, cartilage, then areolar tissues, then adipose tissues. These all are examples for connective tissues. So we can study one by one. First is about blood. This blood is a fluid connective tissue. Say fluid connective tissue. Then this blood flows throughout the body. How? Flows throughout the body through small tubes called blood vessels. Small tubes called blood vessels. Through the blood vessels, this blood is flowing from one part of the body to another. Then another one is this blood that you know that what is the color of the blood? That is dark red in color. Why it is so? Because of the presence of a pigment called hemoglobin that provide that dark red color to the blood. That is the general things about this blood. Then its composition. Composed of what? This blood connective tissue, that composed of what? Its composition. It composed of plasma and blood cells. So blood composed of a part called plasma and blood cells. Then what is plasma? It is the fluid matrix of the blood. The fluid or liquid matrix or medium of the blood. Fluid matrix or medium of the blood is called plasma. And this plasma, in this matrix, we can see the blood cells are suspended. Blood cells are suspended in this fluid matrix. Okay, so blood consists of plasma, and it is the fluid part or a fluid matrix or medium of the blood in which the blood cells are suspended. And this plasma consists of, that liquid part consists of proteins, salts, different types of salts and hormones. Okay, that's about the plasma. So fluid matrix of the blood is called plasma, and in which the blood cells are suspended, and this plasma consists of proteins, salts and hormones. Next is about blood cells. So which are the blood cells? The blood cells are of three types. The one is RBC. RBC, otherwise known as erythrocytes. Erythrocytes. And what is the shape of RBC? Look at the figure here. It is biconcave, disc-shaped cells. Disc-shaped cells. Biconcave, disc-shaped cells. And what is the function of this RBC function? This RBC help in the process of transportation of respiratory gases. Transportation of respiratory gases. Which are the respiratory gases? They are carbon dioxide and oxygen. These are the respiratory gases. For the transportation of respiratory gases, who is helping? This RBC of the blood. So RBC or erythrocytes, they are biconcave disc-shaped cells, and its function is help in the transportation of respiratory gases. And the next one is, another blood cell is WBC. WBC also known as what? Leukocytes. Leukocytes. These WBC, the cells are irregular in shape. The cells are irregular in shape. And there are 5 types of WBCs are present. Which are the 5 types of WBC? The first one is basophil. Second one is eosinophil. Third one is neutrophil. Then fourth one is monocytes. And the fifth one is lymphocytes. These are the 5 types of WBC present in blood cells. Then, what is its function? Function of this WBC? The function is it fight against the germs or pathogens. Fight against pathogens or infectious substances that enter our body, and it form as an immunity system of our body. That is the function of what? This WBC. So once again, WBC or leukocytes are irregular in shape. You know that WBC, that is, we studied about amoeba, no? They can always change their shape. So WBC also can change their shape. So it is irregular in shape. There are 5 types of WBCs, and its function is it fight against pathogens or infectious substances. Thus it provide an immunity system to our body. And the third one is blood platelets. So the third type of blood cell is blood platelets. Blood platelets are also known as thrombocytes. Blood platelets or thrombocytes. Look at the figure here. And these platelets, what is its function? Its function is coagulation of blood. Coagulation of blood. That means when any injury or something will happen, no, the blood will immediately clot, isn't it? And that process, clotting of blood, that is helped by whom? That is this platelets of our blood cells. And these platelets, its shape is, they are somewhat oval in shape. Oval shape or stellate. Stellate means star shape. Stellate in shape. So that's about different types of blood cells. Then what are the functions of blood? So functions of blood. So the first function is it helps in the transportation of gases. Which are the gases? Transportation of gases. They are the carbon dioxide and oxygen. Transportation of respiratory gases. Then another function is it also helps in the transportation of hormones. hormones, vitamins, etc. Then another function, it also help in the transportation of digested food materials from small intestine to various parts of the body, various parts of our body, various parts of the body. That is, they transport digested food material such as minerals and other nutrients from the small intestine to various parts of the body. Then another one, it also help in the transportation of or collecting the waste materials from different parts of the body, collect waste materials from different parts of the body to kidney or liver. It is also another function. Then another function is, it also help in the this fifth one, provide immunity system or power, provide immunity system. That is, it fight against the pathogens and infections, immunity system. Then another one is, it also help in the coagulation of blood. That is, prevent the blood loss, coagulation of blood. So these are the functions of what? Blood. So one is what? Transportation, help in the transportation of gases, then transportation of hormones, vitamins, etc. It help in the transportation of digested food materials from small intestine to different parts of the body, and it also collect the waste materials from different parts of the body and transport to where? Into the kidneys and or liver, and provide immunity system to our body, and also help in the blood loss, that is prevent the blood loss, that is by coagulating the blood. These are the functions of blood. And another question is, another important question related to blood is, why this blood is called a connective tissue? Why? Because they connect the different parts of the body by different ways. That is, here you can see that two functions. Digested food materials are transporting from the small intestine to different parts of the body. Thus, they are connecting different parts of our body. And also, from waste materials from different cells, they are collecting the waste materials from there and transported towards the kidney and liver. So, thus, it connects throughout the body through these blood vessels. So, it is called connective tissue. Blood is also called a connective tissue. Then another connective tissue, bone. It is the hardest living connective tissue in the body. So bone is the hardest living connective tissue in the body, and this bone is also consists of matrix or medium is there, but it is a hard matrix. Hard matrix is present or medium is present, and this hard matrix consists of bone cells. Bone cells are also called osteocytes. Osteocytes. Bone cells or osteocytes are present in this hard matrix. And this matrix also consists of calcium and phosphorus compounds. And it is a non-flexible, strong and non-flexible tissue. Okay. So it is the bone is the hardest living connective tissue in the body and consists of hard matrix, and that hard matrix contains bone cells or osteocytes, and this matrix contains calcium and phosphorus compounds, and it is the strong and non-flexible tissue. And what is its function? The function of this bone cells, you know that it forms the framework of our body. Framework of our body. That is, it supports what? It provides shape and also provides support to the body. It provides shape and support to our body. You know that a human body consists of 206 bones, isn't it? That together to form the skeletal system of our body, and that provides shape and support. So that is one of the function. And another one is it also helps to anchor muscle cells or muscular tissue, anchor muscles, and also provide supports to main organs of our body. It supports main organs of our body. It anchor the muscle cells or muscular tissue and provide support to main organs of our body. That's about another connective tissue. What is the name? It is bone. Look at the figure here. You can see different bone cells or osteocytes. Then the third connective tissue is ligament. Ligament, these are also connective tissue which connect two bones each other. Then other features are, here the ligaments, these cells are very elastic in nature. And this tissue consists of very little matrix. And these have considerable strength. That's about ligaments. Another connective tissue, that is tendons. These are also connective tissue which connect muscles to bones. They are ligaments that connect what? Two bones each other. But here muscles to bones. Here this tissue connect to what? Muscles and bones. And here these cells are non-elastic. The cells are non-elastic fibrous tissue. This tissue is non-elastic and fibrous tissue. Have great strength. And it consists of rich extracellular matrix. And this once again, the cells are, these tendons are connective tissue which connect muscles to bones, and these are non-elastic fibrous tissue, and they have great strength, and they are rich in extracellular matrix, but they have limited flexibility. Even though they that consists of rich extracellular matrix, but they have limited flexibility. So these are the features of tendons. Then another connective tissue, cartilage. These are flexible connective tissue. And it has widely spaced cells. Widely spaced cells means in between the cells enough space is there. So widely spaced or loosely packed cells are present and consists of solid matrix. And this matrix composed of proteins and sugars. So these are flexible connective tissue, and are widely spaced cells are there. That is, cells are loosely packed in, and the matrix is solid in nature, and that matrix composed of proteins and sugars. Then its location, where it is present at ear pinna. That is, you know that this region is the ear pinna. Then at the tip of our nose, tip of the nose. Then in the trachea, that is especially in the rings of cartilage, that is trachea rings, and in the larynx. In these regions we can see this cartilaginous tissue. And what is its function? The cartilaginous tissue, these are smoothens the bone surface. So its function, it smoothens the bone surfaces. Bone surfaces, especially at joints. Especially at joints. You know that here it is very smooth, and our ear pinna is also very smooth. So it smoothens the bone surfaces, especially at joints. And also one more function is there. It provides rigidity and flexibility. So these are the functions of cartilage. Once again, cartilage is a connective tissue, that is flexible connective tissue, and it consists of widely spaced cells, and that cells are called what? That cells are called chondroblast. The cells of these cartilages are called chondroblast. Okay, and their location, the matrix in the cartilaginous tissue is very solid in nature, and that matrix consists of proteins and sugars. And this location, these cartilaginous tissues are present in the ear pinna, the tip of our nose, trachea and larynx. And what is its function? One of the functions is it smoothens the bone surface, especially at joints, and it also provides rigidity and flexibility to these regions. And the cells of the cartilaginous tissues are called chondroblast. Then another connective tissue is areolar tissue. Areolar connective tissue. So this areolar connective tissue is present, that is found where its location is present around the blood vessels. Then in between the skin and muscles. Then in the bone marrow, and also in nerves. So this type of areolar tissue is found around the blood vessels, in between the skin and muscles, in the bone marrow, and also in nerves. Then it consists of jelly-like matrix, and also numerous fibers, and different types of cells such as mast cells, then plasma cells, and macrophages, etc. So that you can see clearly in that diagrams, that is also in your textbook, about mast cells, plasma cells and macrophages. So these are found in these areas, and it consists of jelly-like matrix and numerous fibers. Then the cells, different types of cells such as mast cells, plasma cells, macrophages, etc. Here the functions of areolar tissues. It fills the space inside the organs. inside the organs. So one of the function, it fills the space inside the organs, and it also help in a repair of tissues. Repair of tissues. That's about the functions of areolar tissue. Then next is about another connective tissue. This is the last one, and this connective tissue is the adipose tissue. Adipose tissue. This adipose tissue, these are fat storing tissues. Fat storing tissues. And it consists of many cells, and that cells are called adipocytes. Adipocytes. These are the cells present in this adipose tissue. So these are called adipocytes. These adipocytes store what or contain fat globules. And another one is these adipose tissue, these are present in, that is below the skin, and also it is present in between internal organs, in between internal organs. And you know that already I told that these are storing what? Fat. So it act as an insulator. Acts as an insulator. You know that what is the role of insulator? Does not allow heat to transfer from the material. That is, you studied about the insulators, isn't it? Like that. It also helps or it acts as an insulator in our body. So once again, adipose tissue, these are fat storing tissue and consists of cells. That cells are called adipocytes, and these are present where, or its location where? Present below the skin and also in between internal organs. In between the internal organs, these adipose tissues are present, and it acts as an insulator in our body. These are about different types of connective tissues. So we studied about blood, bone, cartilage, then tendons, ligament, areolar tissue, adipose tissue, etc. Let's recap today's topics. So we had completed these topics. First about animal tissues, of that epithelial tissues. First one is epithelial tissues. Then different types of epithelial tissues are squamous, stratified squamous, columnar, ciliated, cuboidal and glandular epithelial tissues. Then second is about connective tissues. Then different connective tissues are blood, bone, ligaments, tendons, cartilage, areola and adipose tissues. So read the text very well and complete your notes. Okay, and watch the videos carefully and watch it 2 or 3 times and complete your notes on time. Once again, Jai Hind to all and thank you.